it's a mistaken notion. I don't agree with you when you say that the BJP is distancing itself now. It has distanced itself from long time. Muthalik has been fighting against the BJP for a long time. It has contested against the BJP.
Why has Muthalik been allowed to roam free in Karnataka?
Why? The moment he entered Belgaum and the moment he entered Karnataka, he has been taken into custody. Where is it, because he has not been allowed to roam about. When he was, on an earlier occasion, he was taken into custody. The law is so light in our country, the IPC which was done by the Lord Macaulay, which has been continuing even today. None of our people in the parliament have taken care to see that the law is amended. The public nuisance is not amended. Public nuisance, it is only a small offence where it is made bailable. It is high time, that they must amend this law and they must use section 354 to show assault on a woman is a crime and it suggests 7 years imprisonment. So the law has to take its own course. I don't agree with you because our government has taken all measures to see that Muthalik is arrested, his people are arrested, more than 27 persons are arrested in Mangalore.
Okay,
even within a short period of time.
Gauri Lankesh, has the government done enough to rein in these groups? The Kannada Rakshana Vedike is attacking rave parties. Sri Ram Sene has been on the rampage all this time. Do you agree with Pramila Nesargi?
Absolutely not, and it's not as if Pramod Muthalik was not in the state. And he was somewhere else and that he was arrested only on his entry today. The man has more than 40 or 50 cases pending against him. And now that he has entered Karnataka and they're saying this. And Miss Nesargi should remember that recently the same Yediyurappa government withdrew at least 15 cases against the same Muthalik for hate speech.
Right.
So they have not taken any action and Miss Nesargi is just talking through her hat.
Madhukishwar, is this the actions of the Sri Ram Sene, is this tapping into a real cultural fear? So a lot of people are actually lending tacit support to these groups because there is a fear that we're losing our culture. Something terrible is happening. There's too much nudity. So there's actually a lot of support for these groups which is hidden.
See, firstly, I would not see it as an expression in religious orthodoxy. This is modern political hooliganism. Gundaism, politically patronized, part of vote bank politics of the most cynical kind. And you can see that these guys have no culture of any kind, leave alone any orthodox culture. None of our Shankracharyas are going berserk over it. Secondly, when you talk about nudity, what kind of nudity? I mean, go to Ajanta caves. These guys should be taken to a tour of our religious and cultural sites. And you see the kind of garments women wear. It's celebration of the human body, especially women's body, and not an embarrassment, not this Victorian sense of shame about the women's body. Now, there is no doubt that in India, there is a growing gap between the westernized, a certain kind of a decadent Western culture, which we are more quick in adopting than some of the better aspects of Western culture. But that's a concern you and I share with many others who are non-Westernized. And we stand on the borderline in a way. We don't want to be swept off our feet. But the point is, these guys would even lynch Bhagwan Krishna and Radha for their Ras Leela. They have no clue what culture India represents. What's our own history, our own civilizational history, what sexual mores we have adopted. And pubs, the name sounds very American, so they can get excited. We've had madhushalas and,
So under the name of all these groups, Hindu Jagriti Samiti, Sri Ram Sene, Hindu Samiti, these are just hooligans. They're just hoodlums.
And modern, very modern.
They're very modern.
Decultured. They're not rooted in any
nothing
culture.
to do with Hinduism,
no,
nothing to do with religion.
Only
what would you say then about Asya Andrabi? Asya Andrabi of the Duktarane Millat. Asya Andrabi of the Duktarane Millat, do you feel that women who are sending Valentine's cards, who are sitting at cafes, you have beaten them up in the past, you have broken down cafes where girls and boys are sitting together, do you feel that women should be forced to actually follow traditional values if they're not doing so?
Actually, this is not a matter of a woman only. We're trying our best to make our youth, whether it is women or men, that they should adopt their culture, they should adopt their religion as when so be Allah the Almighty, that one has to obey the laws of Allah the Almighty. wherever we used to go on Valentine's Day or any other day to restaurants or anywhere else, we are not beating our young people. We are not beating girls or boys. We are just making them aware about the moral values given by Allah the Almighty in Islam.
But you are throwing acid at people. You throw acid at people and you hit them.
It's you people who are making this all. This is propaganda against we people. We believe in Islam and we are the strong believers of the Islam. Islam doesn't allow us to throw the acid. If it would have been allowed by Allah, I would have the first woman who would have thrown the acid, but it's not allowed
So do you think the Taliban, is doing the right thing?
Those acts.
Is the Taliban doing the right thing by burning women's schools?